Hi everyone, FB here to bring you a cast of the ESL RPG Nightcup Edition 11. And the format for this cup is to begin with 30 minutes of time attack, where the top 50% will then advance to a knockout phase, where the last two players will get knocked out for each round until top 4 or 5, depending on how many players qualified. And after that it will change to only the last player getting knocked out until we have determined a winner. Only one track will be played in this cup, and this time the track is Village of the Sacred Feathers by Maxi031, and the world record here is 444.456 by Clem193, although now I see it's 442.86 on the server, so this seems to not be the fastest time. Anyways, let's take a look at the previous results in this Night Cup, where we see that Kilburn won edition 7 ahead of Alexor and Rappo. Zombie won edition 8 ahead of Kilburn and Rappo. In edition 9, Mario won it ahead of Kilburn and Zombie. And then most recently in edition 10, Morris89 was the winner ahead of Milkshake and Kilburn. So Kilburn has been on the podium several times, and he is driving this time as well, although he's standing still at the moment. And we are going to start this time attack phase now. So again, this is gonna be 30 minutes long, and the top 50% will advance. So we'll see. I think we have actually quite a lot of players that will play. We got 33 players right now on the server, so we'll see how many of them will also set a time, because it's based on that. But yes, a lot of good RPG players here, as well as a lot of other players that are maybe more focused on other styles, such as tech. We got Spam driving, also several other Dignitas players, Pack and Saber, as well as those are the only ones actually. We also got Massa driving, and here is Morris89. Where is he? There he is. So Morris89 is also playing, and I'll put on some audio. So yeah, those familiar of RPG, those unfamiliar of RPG, this is custom-made tracks, and using 3D objects and all kinds of stuff to make it a very cool experience. It's a lot focused on the experience. You can also see some background noises right now, just to like create an atmosphere of the track. So it's really cool to see. And yeah, we are live into the time attack phase here. It's time attack, so I mean, it's only so much I can say, but let's follow Morris89 as he goes through this track. I wonder if he has seen it before. Looks like he has. Let's see if I can take a look at the local record. So Clem does have the world record, but it's 442.86. So I guess he improved it recently after I made my graphics. And RPG is a lot about passing obstacles, and some are harder than others, but you often see people having to respawn to the nearest checkpoint because of not being able to reach the next checkpoint and not having enough speed to do it without respawning. So a lot can happen, and it can go very quickly. You can have a big lead of like 30 seconds, but that doesn't mean that you will win. You see that Morris89 apparently picked up the rope. So there seems to be some kind of theme to this track where you are gathering items. I haven't actually tested the tracks, I don't know too much about it. But yeah, it seems like a very cool map, design-wise at least. As Morris89 are going down some stairs right now, in the quest of some other item. And I guess this track isn't that long compared to other RPG tracks. 4 minutes strikes me as pretty short. So could see a pretty close knockout phase, which will be coming up after this time attack phase is over. See, Morris89 got a player in front of him here. Also, the checkpoints are custom made to make them blend in much more. And Maurice A9 seems to be keeping a good pace here, so seems pretty familiar of the track. And now he's going up the stairs. And so far I haven't had any trouble reaching the checkpoint. Whoa, that's a respawn. So he's respawning out of the track, or out of the cave. Now he's outside again. Seems to be some kind of castle. Now he's ringing the bell, I suppose. Yep. And falling down the hole. Anything can happen on an RPG track. Should never be surprised. Here's some more stairs again. Should be pretty close to the end. Yeah, he's reached 13 out of 16 checkpoints, so you got 3 more to pass. There's one. Makes him fall down the water. And once again we have some audio that represents him driving in the water. There's another tunnel. Pitch black, and then whoa. Okay. Some rain all of a sudden as he drives backwards. Seems like a very complex track. See wrecks here in front of him. It's like I have a rainy mood on. Maybe it is that. So the reason why he's driving backwards here is probably because of a mod that if he drives forward the screen will turn black or something like that, so he has to drive backwards, he can't turn around. And he should be very close to the finish now. This might be it, I think. He's now up in the sky apparently. This track got everything, it seems. Yeah, this is kind of trippy. And here is the finish. So Maurice A9 finishes with a time of 4:53.95, takes 5th place. That is probably going to be enough to qualify and be in the top 15%. Here is the current leader of the time attack phase, July from IGN, with a time of 4:49.42. Let's see how many players have set a time. It's 21 players. And we still got 33 players in total driving, so we'll see. Probably all of them will eventually set a time. So let's follow July now through a lap. See if we can improve. 4:49 strikes me as a pretty good time, so may prove to be difficult to improve it. I also need to make sure that I use this camera that makes you look backwards. Should be useful for RPG as well. See Sorrow Croatia just behind July. See he's going down the stairs. Has passed 7 checkpoints out of 16. Spam has also set a good time. 4:52.69 at 3rd place. Clem at 2nd. Then we got Bren at 4th. Coco 8 at 5th. Maurice A9 at 6th still. Chaos Hand at 7th. Milkshake at 8th. Supernoo at 9th. Sorrow Croatia at 10th. Letlis at 11th. Saber at 12th. Zombie at 13th. Mario at 14th. Kilburn at 15th. And Alexandra Daddario at 16th place. I believe that is Cousin. Yeah, to get this camera you need to get in the input settings and search for the free look option. It's not set to any key as a default, so you have to set it yourself. It was introduced a couple of months ago apparently with a Shoot Mania update called Chase, but apparently it works for Trackmania as well. So it's actually very useful, I think. And not only as a caster, but I also think as a player. Of course, it's very new, so I don't think anyone is actually using it, but I can definitely see it being useful for a player. Because when I was driving, I've often thought that would be very useful, so that you get even more control of knowing where your opponents are. Because sometimes you know, you're not aware. They could be pretty close to you, but not close enough that you see them when driving, and you don't really see in the checkpoint how close they are either. So yeah, it's a really cool addition, I think. So July is through 14 out of 16 checkpoints, closing in on the end, still having the fastest time. Mario was talking about some kind of custom camera, but I don't see it. Maybe because I need to have like replay on or something, I don't know. Whoa, now when I use it we actually see him going forward, so I guess that makes sense, but yeah. Interesting. Oh, and July will stumble here, so he will stop that attempt. Let's switch to Clem instead, who apparently got the world record here for 42.86. See if he can take first place. Milkshake will take first place for 49.15. And as I mentioned, Milkshake, he took second place in the most recent RPG Nightcup, as Clem will retire. So let's follow Milkshake. No, he's not driving either. Spam is driving here. No, he's not. He's also stopping. Bren is driving for display at 5th place. For 52.74 is his best time. Let's just take a quick look here. We see that 26 players have now set a time. And Bren is one of them. So yeah, that would of course mean that 13 players will advance to the knockout phase. The most recent Nightcup was last year, I believe. It's been a while. So it's awesome to see that it's back. I wish it was organized a bit more often. But, well, I suppose there aren't that many RPG maps that can be used for this kind of event, so maybe that's why. Kilburn will set a time of 5:04.54, not that good of a time by Kilburn, so he may not be as trained on this one. Been on the podium in the 4 previous Nightcups, so he's used to doing well in this kind of format. Yeah, that's true. It also takes a really long time to make an RPG map, so it's not like a tech or dirt map where you can like make 50 of them in a week. An RPG map takes a lot of time, and you know, it's not just about making the track, it's just making everything around it as well, and just creating the atmosphere and everything like that. That is kind of what an RPG map is, so I guess, yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be like, you know, it's kind of like an obstacle track could also be cool. It doesn't really have to be like having all this atmosphere. It still would be RPG. Kinda. But yeah, if you add all the like the textures as well and everything, it just takes so much more time to make the RPG track then. So Bren is 10 checkpoints into his attempt here. Currently at 6th place, behind Milkshake. July, Morris 89 now at 3rd place, and Clement 4th, Spam at 5th. Oh, as Bren falls down the water and he's gonna retire. Let's switch to someone else. Here is Zombie at 4th place. Zombie took 3rd place in edition 9 and also won edition 8. So he is also pretty successful as he retires, but let's continue following Zombie as he makes another attempt. We have 16 minutes left on the clock in this time attack phase, and again, after this is over, the top 50% will advance to the last phase, which is played in Knockout. And Knockout works in such a way that the last 2 players will get knocked out until top 4 or 5, and then it will switch to only the last player, so 1 player getting knocked out for each round until we have determined a winner. And it seems like only Massa, Cyril and Lars and also King Tilla, they are the only players who have not yet set a time. But they still got a couple of more attempts. This track is, I think, pretty short for being an RPG map, so that helps. It's worse when it's like close to 10 minutes in length. You don't really get that many attempts if you think about it over 30 minutes. Basically, you can only finish it 3 times, so gotta make it count. And Zombie is through the beginning, past 6 checkpoints out of 16. And down the stairs he goes. Yeah, that's the beauty of Trackmania, I think, that you know, you can be a player, but you can also just build tracks, and a lot of people just build tracks. That's how they enjoy Trackmania. It's like a creative thing, and it's not just building tracks, it's also like making videos. Some people just focus on that, and some people focus more on making skins, and you know, and then there's people that just focus on competing, and then also the people that just play casually. I think that's kind of, you know, with Mania Planet not being so popular, like, it's great for creative people and competitive people, I think, but not really so much for casual people who just wanna, you know, play once in a while, because they just want everything at once, and that's kind of what United gave them, because everything was at once, you know, on the same server and everything. But in Mania Planet it's a bit more like spread out with the title packs, making it a bit harder for like the casual crowd to enjoy it, I think. But if you're competitive or creative, then I think it's pretty great. As we see Zombie now very deep into this attempt, could be a good time. As he rings the bell. And don't worry about the camera, I just like to mix it up sometimes. So camera 3 is not something I use very often. And Zombie now entering the cave. And now the rain is pouring down, but don't think it makes it like any more slippery or anything. That would have been really cool though if it could like make it more slippery as well on the surface, but I guess that is a bit too hardcore to make that happen. Seems like Mario, the admin, is giving his spot away, so one more can join. So it seems like maybe Prower will take, we'll see. But Mario, of course, a really good RPG player, so it's a bit unfortunate that he won't compete. But yeah, if he's also the admin, you may want to just focus on that. Zombie now is up in the clouds. Just got this long stretch left, and let's see if he will be able to improve his time or not. And yes, 4:46.85. That is a new best time by Zombie. Second place behind Clem, who's now in the lead with 4:45.01. Milkshake is at third place. Then we got July at fourth, Marius A9 at fifth, Spam at sixth, Bren at seventh. We got Super Noob at eighth, Choco 8 at ninth, Chaos. Oh, what happened now? Who passed them all? I don't know. Super Noob at 9th, Choco 8 at 10th, Chaos Sand at 11th, Eternity at 12th, Sorrow Crazy at 13th, Letless at 14th, Saber at 15th, Banana Man at 16th place, and we got Paltesa at 17th, Mario at 18th, Dental at 19th, Kavzin at 20th, Vap at 21st, Massa at 22nd, Kraken at 23rd, Vutra at 24th, Funny Raceman Jr. at 25th, Guga Russ at 26th, Pack at 27th, Rex Razor at 28th, Acier at 29th, Magic Man at 30th, and King Killa at 31st. So only Cyril and Prower now. Oh, and also Lars without any times. Are they driving? Yes, Lars is driving. Prower is not. Cyril is driving as well. So we got 32 players competing, which is pretty good. See how many players had finished here. It was 31 players. So I believe that will be 15 players that will advance. Maybe it is 16. I don't know what the rule is exactly with those kind of numbers. We'll have to wait and see what Mario says. Oh, Kilburn was the player, I guess, that knocked down those other players. He's up to 4th place now with 4:46.99. But not driving anymore. Seems like he is satisfied with that. Less than 10 minutes to go now of the time attack phase. Wutra is driving here at 25th. He is not in the top 50% right now. I guess it's either Palteza or Letalis that is the last player in. So it's pretty... you need to basically set a time under 5 minutes if you want to advance. Let's see, we have a couple of players here that are close. One of them is Banana Man at 17th place. So let's follow Banana Man through this attempt as he retires. Let's follow someone else instead. Here's Pack driving in this RPG Nightcup for the first time, I believe. Started as a Canyon player, but now has moved on to Stadium. And he will have to try and improve his best time if he wants to continue playing in this cup. 8 minutes left on the clock, so he will get maybe one more attempt after this one, depending on where he retires, if he does. Rex Racer with a time of 4:59.99. That puts him at 15th place, so Rex Racer goes into the top 50%. Pack is still early in his attempt here, only passing 5 checkpoints so far. So if he goes deep into this one, this might be his last one, so he needs to make it count. Spam will improve his time as well, 4:51.29. Currently at 7th place with that. Should be enough to qualify. Saber seems to also... or wait, was he in the top 15? Maybe he was, but he's at 11th place anyway. Chaosan, 4:55.43. He was already in the top 50% though, but improves his time at least. Pack will pass Magic Man, who is at 30th place. Oh, did Pack fall on his back? Yes, he did, and he's not gonna respawn here either. So he is maybe giving up. He will get at least one more attempt. So this probably will be Pack's last attempt. Still not in the top 50%. It's Clem, Morrissey 9, Zombie, Kilburn, Milkshakes, July, Spam, Bren, Supernoob, Coco 8, Saber, Chaos Hand, Eternity, Sorrow Croatia, and Rex Racer qualifying. Could also be that Palteza is in. Let's see how many players have set a time now. Oh, it is 32 players now, so Palteza should be in. But if oh, we actually got another player here also now driving 6 for Impact. So could still see some changes as to who will qualify. After these qualifiers, we'll play a knockout phase that is played in rounds, and for each round, the 2 last players will get knocked out until top 4 or 5. And then once that happens, we'll switch to only the last player getting knocked out until only 1 player remains. And that will be the winner. And now Pack has retired again. 5 minutes left on the clock. This is definitely his last attempt. Unless he retires right about now, but yeah, Pack will have to make it happen. 507.55 at 19th place is not enough. Also Bananaman, Latlis, and Lars not in it, as well as other players here. Right now, Palteza is the last player to qualify since we have 32 players with time set. There hasn't really been an improvement. See here who's close to finishing Eternity, but he is already in a good place at 13th place. Cyril is... no, he's not driving anymore. No, wait, here he is. Cyril could still get into the top 50%. Deep into an attempt. Still have not set a time even. And this is his last attempt now since we have crossed the 5-minute mark. And he is... getting closer to the finish line now. Will this be enough for Cyril? We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I think this will actually be a pretty good time by Cyril. Let's find out. No, 503.77. That's not gonna be enough for Cyril. 19th place. And now we got 33 players with times. So that's still, I guess, 16 players. Unless it's rounded up, then it's 17. But I don't know, we'll have to see. Who else can set a faster time? Pack is still driving. Cousin, 510.53, not enough either. It may be that Pack is the last player. Let's see here, where's Kraken? Kraken is at 27th place, not driving anymore. I can't click on Coco 8. Supernoob is not... no, wait, he's at 9th place. He's definitely gonna make it. No, I think this might be it. Is Pack driving? Yes, he is. He's still driving, so that might be the last chance. And it is 17 players that are going to qualify, apparently. So that means the last player in right now is Letalis. Letalis is in because of Cyril finishing a run, I believe. Otherwise he would not be in, so Letalis gotta thank Cyril some way. 2 minutes left on the clock now. Will we see any more improvements? Oh, Coco 8, 450.12! And that puts him at 7th place, but was he already in the top 50% though? He might have been. Can't remember. Prower also finishes 501.59. That's not enough. No, he's just outside. Actually, we got 34 players now finishing. So is he in now? Could be. No, I guess he's still outside, yeah. Need to be top 17. Top 17 will qualify. Will Pack be one of them? He's already close, but he needs to set a faster time. Still got some other players. Here's Vap, who's not in the top 50%. He's at 26th place. What will his time be? It's not gonna be enough. No. 5:14.07, not enough. Pack now nearing the end. Through the rain. And now approaching the ending. What was his last checkpoint? 4:23.46. I think this is good enough for Pack. I think he's gonna make it actually. It should be a time under 5 minutes if I'm not completely incorrect. Let's see, his time is 4:55.83. Pack goes up to 14th place and will drive in the knockout phase. And I think that might be the last one making it. Yeah, I think so. Wooter is not driving. Magic Man is, but will this be enough? No, he will not make it. It's already above 5 minutes. I believe that's gonna be it. So let's just see who's gonna get in. So Clem, Morrissey 9, Zombie, Kilburn, July, Milkshake, Bren, Coco 8, Supernoob, Spam, Saber, Eternity, Chaosan, Pack, Sorrow Croatia, Rex Racer, and the last player in is Paltessa, I guess. Yes, Paltessa is the last player. So that's gonna be the end of the time attack phase. And now we'll take a 5-minute break for the knockout phase, which will start momentarily. So be right back in 5 minutes. And I'm back. The grand final now of this ESL RPG Nightcup Edition 11 will start very soon, as we hear a very, very annoying horn that is taking forever to end. There it goes. So yeah, now it's gonna shift here to a knockout phase, and that means that the two last players will get knocked out until only 4 or 5 players remain. Then it will switch to only the last player getting knocked out until only 1 player remains, which will be the winner. And we'll play this in rounds mode as we switch to a different map. So I guess they will have to go back to the one we are supposed to play on, which is Village of the Sacred Feathers, made by Maxi031. And we are about to start. Maybe a warm-up round before we actually start, we'll see. No, maybe not. Yeah, well, seems like we will start right away. Good luck. Have fun. Let's see who we have driving here. I guess we should follow Morrissey9 as we go live into the first round. Morrissey9, who won the previous edition, edition 10, a couple of months ago. And again, the last 2 players will get knocked out in this round. Clem will take the lead together with Bren and July. Morrissey9 goes up to 8th place, but let's take a look at the bottom. Here's KO Sand at last place. Rex Racer no longer at last place, actually Paco now at last place, behind Choco 8 and Zombie. But with RPG a lot can happen. Oh, as Pac doesn't make it, we'll have to respawn. Seems to be doing that incorrectly. Yeah, he should just jump directly to this part. Instead he slows down there. So he is now dead last, or is he? Yes, I think he is. It seems like we don't see all the players in this ranking actually. So it's a bit hard to know who is actually at last place, and I don't think I can see it here, no. So yeah, we'll see who is actually the last player. I think Pac is last though, but then who is second last I have no idea. So many players qualified to this last phase, so I guess they didn't take that into consideration when making the plugin. So I think Kilburn and Sorrow Croatia might still be alive at this point. See if I can find Pac here. So now we can follow him. I assume at least that he is at last place, and I think I saw a player just in front of him. Yes, it's Spam, his teammate. So we got 2 Dignitas players at the bottom. So they could be knocked out here immediately in the start. Where is Spam now? Did Pac pass him? No, or wait. No, he didn't. Spam is in front, it seems. Very hard to keep track of all this. So maybe Spam was quite far ahead of Pac. He was just at a different part of the track, maybe? Spam is last. I don't know. I think Pac, since he had to respawn, might be last place. And as we hear this annoying horn again, should disable the download on the server. It's always... But actually then you can't probably hear the custom sound, so maybe that's why it's on. Oh well, just have to live with it. Here's Rex Racer. No idea where he's placed, of course. Pac now has passed Kilburn. Kilburn is behind him. Is anyone else behind Kilburn? That is the question. Maybe I can use the overview to find out who is actually at last place. See here. Chaos and respawns. Rex Racer seems to be far behind. Wow, this is okay. It might be Rex Racer and Chaos Hand at last place. No, here comes Sor Croatia, so he is currently at last place. I don't see anyone else driving here. Oh, Chaos Hand respawns again, and so does Sor Croatia. These two are at last place now, I'm pretty sure. Can they make this jump? That is the question. Sor Croatia will make it. And did Chaos Hand respawn again? Yes, he did. So this is not looking good right now for Chaos Hand. Let's continue following Rex Racer as he passes passes Pack. Or no, he didn't. No, he's still in front. It's not easy. It's gonna get easier though, the less players we have, because then I can actually see in the rankings which two players are at the bottom. So right now it's Rex Racer and Chaos Hand getting knocked out. Bit surprised that Chaos Hand would be out already, but maybe doesn't know the track that well. Actually, let's just switch to Rex Racer this way, as apparently is now ahead of Spam. What's going on? Is Rex Racer ahead of Spam? Clem sets a great time, 4:45.89. Is Spam now facing elimination? It could very likely be. That is the case, or not. Chaos and Sor Croatia, I think, are still at the bottom. Rex Racer seems to have passed Sor Croatia at some point. Several players will now finish. Spam is close to getting eliminated, but seems like he will still make it. Yep, it is Sor Croatia and Chaos Hand that are getting knocked out. Spam can knock them out now if he finishes without having to respawn again. And he only got this stretch left, so this should be it now. Sor Croatia still not there. He seems to be the one with the horn. So that's gonna be it. Spam, the last player to get through to the next round. Sor Croatia and Chaos Hand are eliminated. Got a 2-minute timer here, so Sor Croatia keeps on playing the horn. And here comes Chaos Hand, finishing in front of Sor Croatia, who is finishing now. Hopefully I won't get muted for that. Alright, so that's the end of the first round. 2 players out. But still a lot of players in this final phase, as we are live into the next one. Strange how it doesn't automatically switch to a player. We'll have to remember to switch to that player. So Marisei 9 is still alive, as we are live into the second round. Again, the top 2 bottom players are going to get knocked out. Pack now with a much better start, it seems. And now I think I see all the players in the rankings. So Rex Racer currently at last place behind Palteza. I'm not sure what the name of that song is actually. We'll have to look it up. Just kidding. Good landing there from Rex Racer, about to overtake Pack. Eternity though is now at last place, probably had to respawn. And Zombie is second to last, so those 2 players right now facing elimination. As Eternity is very far behind at the moment. You can see Zombie, but he's already gone up the hill here. So Eternity is maybe like 15 seconds behind at this point. But this is RPG and a lot can happen. So would not be surprised if Eternity still makes it. Just have to try to keep his head cool and continue driving, because you never know what the players in front of you will do. One respawn is all it takes sometimes. Can lose up to 30 seconds or even more with that. See Zombie closing in on Pack and Racer, Rex Racer, as they go up the stairs. Zombie passing Rex Racer, meaning that Rex Racer is right now getting eliminated together with Eternity. Prower has left. I don't know if he was driving though. We also see Palteza now dropping down. Zombie has gone up a couple of more positions. In the lead we got Bren ahead of Clem and July. So they are feeling safe. Ooh, did Pack respawn? Did he? Yeah, I think he did actually. Didn't make this jump, so Pack down to second to last place, I believe. Only ahead of Eternity, who's still very far behind. Yes, Pack now down to second to last position. Marius A9 has dropped down a lot as well. The defending champion of the RPG Nightcup. Pack outside of the track now. This jump seems pretty tricky for a lot of players. Ooh, yeah, Pack will have to respawn. I wonder what the key is to making this. Because a lot of players seems to not be able to reach the next point. Pack makes it on his second attempt, and the thing is that you need enough speed to also make this jump here to ring the bell. So, oh wait, Pack is no longer eliminated right now, I think at least. No, Rex Racer once again has dropped down, but this is very, very close. It's between Pack and the Rex Racer for a spot into the next round. Down the hole they go. And it's Rex Racer who takes the lead. Neck and neck. Into the rain they go. We see Zombie also close to them. Did Rex Racer get a bad landing? Yes, he did. And here's Eternity with the comeback, apparently. Eternity is now back and could still survive. I thought he was miles away from the others, but apparently not. And this is still doable for Eternity to make it, but he will have to pass Pack, who's still in front of him. It's a couple of walls here in the backwards driving, which is not what he needs. We should see the players finishing soon. Here's Bren finishing at first place ahead of Clem at second. And then July at third, Kilburn at fourth. But let's follow this fight at the bottom. Eternity desperately trying to catch up to Pack, who's still in front of him. Not much left to go. I don't think Pack can lose it. Ah, he falls on his back! He falls on his back and will have to respawn! Eternity will pass him, and so will Rex Racer, who I think still will get eliminated though, but yeah, Eternity will make it here. Pack is out, landing on his back in the last jump. That is unlucky. So Pack and who was other? Rex Racer, I believe, are going to be knocked out. And we are down to how many players? That is the question. 14 players, I believe. Yes, Rex Racer and Pack are eliminated. As we start the third round now, following Bren. Oh, someone got a huge landing bug. Who was it? Maybe Super Noob. Might be at last place at the moment. No, he isn't. Oh, someone fell down as well. It wasn't Paltez, it was someone else. Kraken hits the wall. Lots of action in the start. I think Eternity might be at last place here. Yes. Actually, no. He can't be, actually. There are several players here who are still hadn't reached the checkpoint. One of them is Spam, and then the other one is Coco 8. So those two players seems to be at the very bottom at the moment, facing elimination. I love this bird noises. It's very relaxing. Nature, man. It's cool. Alright, so Spam has a bit of catching up to do. He will meet up with Saber and Milkshake, who's already got the rope. Oh, no, seems like Clem is now at the bottom together with Coco 8. So Spam right now on safe ground. Going past the bridge and into the building where the staircases are. Cannot click on Coco 8's name when the link is covering the whole nickname like that. Bren right now in the lead, ahead of July and Maurice 89. Let's see how far ahead Spam is of Clem and Coco 8. Not that far ahead of them at all, it seems. As we see Paltesa having to respawn. So Spam will gain a position with that. It's an even more safe ground now. Oh, that was a deliberate respawn, it seems. But Spam now is quite high up in the rankings, actually. Kilburn has dropped down to second to last. Paltesa right now at last place and does not get through this balance act. Not in his second attempt or his third. This is a disaster for Paltesa, who cannot make it through this balance act. Nope, he cannot make it. Finally makes it. Oh, that is really, really costly for Paltesa. That's gonna cost him so many seconds. And I think he needs a miracle now. See how Eternity is doing. He could still catch up to Kilburn. Already survived by a hair in the previous round, since Pack respawned in the end. And right now, once again, is facing elimination. One minute left of the third round. Coco 8 seems to have dropped a position. Kilburn goes up in the rankings, but he's not far ahead of them. And Paltesa is just he's 2 checkpoints behind, which is you know, could be like 1 minute or so. So he is probably going to be one of the players getting knocked out. Who is going to be the second player, though? That is the big question. Great speed from Eternity. As we are starting this backward climbing. And we are nearing the end now. Here's July. Up in the skies. Lands on his wheels. I guess you just need enough speed, otherwise shouldn't be a problem. Seems like that is the case. Everyone is making it here. Milkshake, Saber, Spam will make it as well. So will Clem and Bren. Also Kilburn. Coco 8, will he make it? Zombie has dropped down to the second to last place. A late respawn for Zombie. And it seems like Zombie will get knocked out. A former winner of the RPG Nightcup will no longer be driving. Because Eternity will finish now. So Zombie and Paltesa are out. No! Yeah, okay, they are out. Coco 8 just finished there, so a bit of a surprise that Zombie will be eliminated already. Still finishing though. And that's gonna be the end of the third round. So we should be down to 12 players now, if I'm not incorrect. Oh, apparently this is not July, it's Yuli. So I'll say Yuli instead. So Yuli off to a good start in this 4th round, just behind Bren. And just in front of Super Noob. That's the top 3. Let's take a look at the bottom. It's Morris89. No, it's not. It's Coco8, who's had another bad start. And I might be mispronouncing this nickname as well. It's very likely. So it seems like Coco8 and Eternity are at the bottom, and Eternity will not make it. Forced to respawn, which might allow Coco8 to pass. Yes, so Coco8 goes up 1 position, but that is not enough. He needs to gain 1 more. As we see the players going to the next part. Coco8 still getting the rope. And did he get it? No, he didn't, so he will have to go and get it a couple more seconds so Eternity can catch up to him. Eternity with good speed over the bridge, passing him. Saber at the 3rd to last position, but he's not far behind this big group of players. Led by Bren! Saber falls down. Forced to respawn. The respawn was not that far behind though. Could have been much worse for Saber. But this does put him in a tricky situation because here comes Coco8. Seems like Eternity might have respawned again, potentially. It's even further behind. So it's Saber versus Coco8. Still got 2 Dignitas players. Left pack was eliminated. Spam and Saber remain. Here comes the balance act. Paltesa had major trouble getting past it. Saber seems to be struggling a bit as well. We'll have to respawn again. 2 respawns for Saber. Makes it on a 3rd attempt at least. So that still gives him an opportunity to catch up. But it does put him in a really bad situation. 6 seconds behind Eternity at this moment. We have seen quite a lot of late respawns in the end though, and I think it's because of landing on the back in the end. So that could still happen. And if so, Saber might have a chance. But right now, he is getting eliminated. Got enough speed, I think. More than enough speed to ring the bell. Oh, and in a blink of an eye, he's past Coco8, who will have to respawn. So now it's Eternity and Coco8 instead getting knocked out. And Eternity passing Coco8 even. Or wait, was it Eternity that maybe dropped down? Maybe that was the case. Coco8 might have been at last place. Anyway, so Saber is on safe ground now. 4 seconds or so ahead of Eternity. Yes, I know that, Mario, but I can't do that for Coco8 because he got a link for his whole nickname, so... If I click on his name, I open up a website, so can't do it. But for the other players I can though. It seems like Coco8 has retired now. Yes, he's no longer driving as we see Bren finishing this round. Takes another first place just ahead of Kilburn, Super Noob, Clem and Morrissey9. Then we got Yuli at next position ahead of Milkshake and Spam. And well, I guess it will, yeah, it's gonna be Eternity and Coco8 here. Saber will stay alive. Eternity too far behind. Not that far behind, but enough far behind to be no longer able to drive. So that's going to be the 4th round. Moving on to the 5th one. And we are down to 10 players now. One of them is not Eternity, one of them is Bren, who's been driving pretty solidly so far. Takes the early lead in the start here as well. And at last place is Marius89. No, wait, should be one more player, because there are 9 in the rankings. Or maybe that is the amount of players still participating. Yeah, I guess it is. So it's 9 players left driving. One of them is Marius89, who won edition 10. But this is a close pack of players, so we haven't had a major respawn so far. And it's still Bren who's keeping that first place. But it's only 4 seconds or so between all 9 players. The thing is that it would be good if it said like the positions as well at the live rankings. It doesn't say, you know, 1st or 2nd, 3rd and so on. That would make it easier instead of just looking at tab. Because then you have, you know, all the other players as well that aren't driving anymore still there to confuse you, so. Now Milkshake is at last place. But this might be a thriller all the way to the end. Oh, Spam hits the pole. And with that takes over the last position. Spam and Milkshake right now facing elimination. Oh, not the best landing for Marius89. He's on his back and he's gonna go turtle mode. Will he make it? Yes, he will. Awesome stuff there from Marius89. Avoided the respawn. Drove on his back instead using the turtle tech. And with that saved a lot of seconds probably. So that was a really cool thing by Marius89. He still will allow Spam to pass him though, but Milkshake can't make the jump, and he will also try to avoid the respawn, it seems. As we also see Kilburn now dropping down. So all of a sudden it's Kilburn and Milkshake who will get knocked out. We'll see if those players will be the last 2 in the end as well. I feel like we could see some changes still. Bren is keeping that first place. Ahead of Clem at 2nd, July at 3rd. Saber is behind Super Noob at 5th place, and Spam at 6th. Marius89 at 7th. Milkshake at 8th and Kilburn at 9th. And they are pretty far behind the rest. So it looks like they will not make it. 1 minute left of the map. It's Clem versus Bren for first place, but doesn't really matter. Yuli, I mean, not far behind. There's Super Noob, followed by Saber and Spam. And there's Marius89 as well. And let's see how far behind Milkshake is. Still maybe a chance, but I think he will have to rely on a respawn in the end. Will it happen? Saber will make it. so we'll spam Morris A9 also making it, and I think that's gonna be it. Bren finishes 4:42.70, a good time. New local record even. Oh, what's happened to Spam? Spam losing his speed in the stretch! And Morris A9 overtaking him! What? What was that? But it's not gonna matter though. Milkshake and Kilburn, of course, still at the bottom too, so maybe Spam was aware of that. I'm just freaking out without without any meaning. So okay, so Milkshake and Kilburn are eliminated. Kilburn not gonna get on the podium now. And we are down to the top 7. So this is gonna be the last round before we switch to only one player getting knocked out. And I don't think one of them will be Bren, who once again takes their lead. Seems to have figured out the start. This is a really cool view, seeing the other players trying to catch up to Bren, led by Clem. All making the jump, Morris A9 and Super Noob at the bottom right now. As Bren picks up the rope. Let's go to the bottom here. Is Morris A9. Is he at last place? It seems like it. Just behind Saber. Last round was pretty close, and I think this one could also be equally close. Let's see if Morris A9 can do that balance act a bit better this time though. Shouldn't really try to take any risks there, just going pretty slow I think is worth it in the end. Better safe than sorry. And I think we are nearing it. Bren still in the lead ahead of Clem and Super Noob. Oh, and Saber not able to make it. And he will have to go around here as well, so that's gonna cost him quite a lot of time. Alright, here we go. The balance act. And this time Morris A9 will not make it. Another respawn and almost again here, so Morris A9 continues to struggle with that balance act. And yeah, he is definitely facing elimination right now. Let's see here, 7 seconds behind Spam, so not looking too good for Morris A9 at the moment. As we see him passing Clem and Bren in a flash. So Bren now facing elimination. Must have respawned at some point. These two players have dominated so far, but right now one of them could get knocked out together with Saber. That would be quite a shock. But Bren seems to know this track very good, so he could probably still gain some time here and pass, but Clem also doing well on this track, so may not be as easy as he might think at this point. And then Morris A9 seems to have respawned again, so he is now back to second to last place. Switching a lot at the moment. Saber still at dead last. Now it's not looking very good for Morris A9 anymore. Can he still survive? This backward driving part doesn't really seem that difficult to me. Oh, and he stumbles a bit as well in the uphill. It's gonna cost him even more time. Yeah, no, this is not looking good right now for Marius 89 and Saber. Bren and Clem seems to be able to survive. Here's July, or Yuli. Keep forgetting how to pronounce that name. We'll make it, so will Super Noob. And so will Spam. Here comes Clem. More than enough speed to make it. Bren will also land on his wheels, and that will be it. Marius 89 and Saber will get knocked out. So, we are down to 5 players now. And as mentioned before, we will now switch to only the last player getting eliminated. So the top 5 players in this RPG Nightcup are Yuli, Bren, Clem, Super Noob and Spam. Here we go. And once again, it's Bren who takes the lead. Spam seems to be at last place, I believe. Did have a couple of close calls. So he might be the underdog going into this last, or this round rather. Still keeping up with the others, so not the best landing. Good luck. Oh, sorry. Good landing there though. Going for the rope. It's Bren in the lead. Oh, and why did he respawn there? That was weird. And with that, he's gonna drop down to last place. I don't know what that respawn was about. Maybe it was accidentally. It's a small slowdown down the stairs. Yuli has taken over the lead ahead of Clem and Super Noob. And Bren almost caught up. It's only 4 seconds between all 5 players. This oh, and that was Spam. Didn't make it. Nope. He's gonna have to turn around. That will cost him quite a lot. Will this be it for Spam? Here's the balance act though. We've seen players losing a lot of time here. Not Bren. And not any of the other players though in this round. So this... Oh, did Spam not make it again? Yeah, he will have to respawn for the 2nd time. And I think that might be it. That's just too much of a time loss. He's behind already with 2 checkpoints. Oh, that was Super Noob, I think, yes. But he's not gonna lose that much with it. So he's still pretty safe here. Spam needs a couple of respawns from the other players. Otherwise, he is probably taking that 5th place. Super Noob hitting the bell there, and let's see how long it's gonna take until Spam hits it as well. Still not outside of the building. And he falls down, so another respawn for Spam. Nope, this is gonna be it. No way he's gonna make it. Bren has gone down to 4th place. Super Noob goes up to 3rd. Clem at 2nd, and Yuli is leading the group. Yeah, this has definitely been a really high level driving. So many players participating as well, which was awesome to see. I guess this track was also pretty suiting, not too long, maybe not too difficult either, so. Alright, here comes Yuli. Up in the clouds. Can't even afford landing on the back here, but does not. So will take 1st place, although it's not going to be with much. Clem is just behind. Here's Super Noob. Gonna take 3rd. And lastly we have Bren landing on his wheels as well, and that means that Spam will get eliminated. So we are down to the top 4. Yuli, Clem, Super Noob and Bren. As we see here, Spam's custom horn, which is from Super Mario Brothers. Alright, so that's gonna be the end of the round. Down to top 4. Spam finishing now. Alright. Here we go. And I have a feeling Bren will take the lead in the start. Yep. Always gets a better landing. And we'll gain maybe 1 second or so. It's not a lot, but still could make a difference. Where is the 4th player? Which is Yuli. Whoa, Yuli with a early respawn. Interesting. And he loses 8 seconds with that. Wow. Talk about a bad start. Oh, and gets stuck. We'll have to respawn for the 2nd time already. Disastrous start here for Yuli. Super Noob has also lost a bit of time, but cannot really be compared. Picks up the rope, will meet up with Yuli over the bridge. And Bren is currently at 1st place, ahead of Clem. We've seen this before. These two players have followed each other through these rounds. They were kind of close to getting eliminated though 2 rounds ago, but survived that and still are in the run to win this whole thing. Good speed there from Clem. Does a good wall ride as well. And continues to climb the stairs. It's not over though for Yuli, despite that awkward start. Oh, was that? Oh, maybe that was the actual route. Yeah, I guess it was. All right, Yuli will make it, and is in pursuit of Super Noob. Coming up to the balance act. Does it beautifully, keeps the speed intact. and can continue the hunt. Only about 6 seconds behind, so it seems like Yuli has gained 2 seconds on Super Noob. But as long as Super Noob avoids any major mistakes or respawns, then it's not gonna matter if Yuli is catching up. Super Noob ringing the bell. Let's see where Yuli is. Oh, did not make it. Oh, never mind, did make it. That was a different camera view for some reason, which kind of tricked me into thinking that Yuli did not make it. But Yuli did make it and is still about 6 seconds behind Super Noob. Clem now in the lead with 8 seconds. So a pretty spread out field. Actually, Super Noob is catching up a bit to Bren. Here is Yuli desperately trying to catch up to the others, facing elimination. Will this be it for IGN's Yuli? Starting the climb now, driving backwards. You can see Super Noob here. One climb above Yuli. And I don't really see how Yuli can catch up 6 seconds at this part. We'll have to rely on some kind of mistake. Clem should be close to finishing now. Just needs enough speed to land on the wheels and will do so. Here comes Bren now. Seems to also have enough speed. Yep, and then it's Super Noob who also lands on the wheels, and that's gonna make Yuli be out of this RPG Nightcup. We'll take 4th place though, which is a pretty good result. Nothing to be ashamed of. And we are down to top 3. Clem, Bren and Super Noob. And that is a kind of cool top 3, to be honest, because none of them were in the top 3 in the last 4 RPG Nightcups, and I could be wrong, but it's possible they weren't in the other ones prior to that either, so a completely new top 3 here. And that means, of course, that we will have a new winner as well. And if it was only based on the start, then Bren would be the winner for sure. Because he is outstanding in these first couple of turns. Clem now passing Bren. Clem has been looking strong in these last couple of rounds. Gotta be honest, Bren has not looked as confident. Super Noob feels like the outsider. This has felt like Clem versus Bren for the longest time. So I would not be surprised if that is going to be the top 2. Coming up to the rope. And it is Super Noob who falls behind a bit. It's a pretty good landing entering the bridge. That's a good staircase, I believe. I've seen worse. Yes, Clem is losing a bit of ground here. Super Noob is catching up. And Bren will take the lead again. All 3 players going to the left. You can also go to the right. Ooh, that's a great landing from Super Noob. Usually you land a bit more on the side, which makes you not gain as or get as much speed, but Super Noob landed on his wheels there, so he caught up a lot to Clem and Bren. And this is less than 1 second now between all 3 players, halfway through this second to last round. One of them will be eliminated. Soon coming up to the respawn and the balance act, which could prove to be very, very decisive. Here we go. What's gonna happen here? Bren leads and will make it, so will Clem and so will Super Noob. All 3 players passing the balance act. But it is Super Noob who keeps at third place. This is still anyone's round to lose. Up the staircase now, Bren first place, Clem at second, and here comes Super Noob. Clem almost did not make it. And we are outside of the building now. Here comes the super jump. We've seen a couple of respawns here. But all three players will make it. Coming up to the ring of bell, or the bell ring. And all three players make it down as well. This is now pretty exciting. We have 1 or 2 minutes left of the track. And Clem will pass Bren over the staircase. Down the hole we go. As we hear the water effects, Clem now in lead just ahead of Bren. Super Noob maybe 1 second or so behind the two others. Could still come back from this. Here's the backwards driving. This is it now. Super Noob will have to try and catch up somehow. Somehow he will have to try and catch up. Can he do it? Still behind the other two. I don't really see any place where he can catch up here though. That's the problem. It's not that difficult. It's not really any obstacles here or anything. You just gotta avoid the walls and that's it. And then all that's left is that jump in the end where we have seen some players landing on their back, but we've not seen any of these players doing it though. Here we go, we are closing in on the end. Bren and Clem first and second place coming up to the jump. Super Noob is facing elimination. All he got is if any one of these will land on their backs, but it doesn't look like it. Clem on his wheels, Bren on his wheels, and Super Noob will be knocked out. And will take third place. Who's gonna win this round, by the way? It seems like it's gonna be Clem. 444.87. Only 1300s ahead of Bren. Great round. Super Noob also just a few seconds behind them. So that was an awesome round. And we are down to the top two. It's Clem versus Bren. It's funny how their names are so similar as well. One of them will be the winner. Here we go, the final round of the ESL RPG Nightcup Edition 11. Who's it gonna be? And for a change, it's Clem who takes the lead now. Bren not able to take advantage of his good start for once, and Clem instead will take the early lead. Is that a sign of a bit of nerves from Bren, perhaps? Could be. This is it. This is the round he will have to perform. And it's so fitting that it's between these two in the last round. They've been dominating all through this Nightcup. Clem still keeping that first place. Gets a good landing as well. And they've also set very similar times. Bren's best time 4:42.70 and Clem's best time 4:43.75. So Bren is the one with the faster time in this Nightcup. But it's really not much of a difference. And Clem did win the previous round, so he got that going. Might be a bit of a mental advantage over Bren. Alright, we are entering the staircases now. We've seen some players having trouble here. Bren will rapidly catch up to Clem as he ascends down the stairs. Makes it less than 1 second now between them. Bren going for a much higher jump here. Can he make the other one? Yes, he will, but that was really close. And it's still Clem in the lead. We've also seen a couple of respawns here. Spam, for example, had trouble getting this jump. But both players will make it, and it's still neck and neck halfway through the last track. Clem versus Bren, who's gonna be the winner of the ESL RPG Nightcup. Here's the respawn and the balance act. Another key part of the track. And Bren will make it, but that was extremely close. A bit of different approaches to the landing, and Clem will clip the wall. However, he does get more speed in the next corner and will still stay in the lead ahead of Bren. As we go up the stairs now. And this is so close. Impossible to call it at this point. And I think whoever is first going into the backwards driving will be the winner. Because I don't really see any way you can catch up from there. It's not really any place where that can happen. So whoever is first going into that will probably be the winner. As we are ringing the bell for the last time. This is intensely close right now. You can feel the pressure in the air. Not the best landing from Clem, as I thought he went into the bushes, but it seems like the bushes were... you could drive through them, so he didn't lose anything from that. And he's still in the race, but it's now Bren who takes over the lead. As we are entering the cave here. Oh, great turn there from Clem. Whoa, this is so close. And we are getting into the backwards driving now. Who's at first place here? I don't know. They are side by side entering the backwards driving. No idea who's gonna win it, Clem or Bren. This could not be any closer right now. The backwards driving will decide it. Holy macaroni. Clem takes a super tiny lead here over Bren, or does he? I have no idea. I have no idea who's gonna win this one now. Bren or Clem through the backward driving. This is intensely close. Here comes the respawn. You want to respawn as soon as possible. And I think Clem might have been doing it a bit better. This is it. This is the end. Clem with more speed over Bren. Takes over the lead. Almost hits the wall, and he hits the wall. Clem hits the wall, and Bren now just needs to land on his wheels. And he will. Bren on his way to win. Clem on his back. That's gonna be it. Bren wins it after an insane, amazing last round. Decides in the very last corner there before the jump. Bren wins it. Clem will take second and Super Noob will take third. Whoa, that was really cool. Alright, so that's gonna be the end of the ESL RPG Nightcup Edition 11. Bren from Display takes home the win. I don't know if there's any prize, maybe some kind of premium award from ESL, not sure. But anyways, that's gonna be first place going to Bren. Clem will take second, and then Super Noob will take third. Not sure when the next RPG Nightcup will be. They don't happen too often, but you can be assured though that I will be casting the next one whenever it will take place. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it. No more rounds left to be played. The results are in, and the ESL RPG Nightcup 11 is over. Thanks to everyone for watching. I'll be back next, tomorrow with the ESL Stadium Nations Challenge. Sweden will play against Hungary. And then later on I will also cast the EC Esports versus Fun Team match in ESL CPS 15. So the Stadium Nations Challenge match will start at 6, and the CPS 15 match will start at 8:30 PM CEST. So that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching everyone. See ya!